Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Today we are sitting as council and we do have 5 council members present as well, which means we have full council, meaning quorum, and we are here in the presence of our clerk and several other staff members. So I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I'm going to say 1 o'clock because that clock's going to flip in about 10 seconds, I'm sure. Just a minute, I haven't turned my phone off either, so I don't want to be third. Everybody's phone off now? It's 1 o'clock, we can move on. First order of business is our land acknowledgement statement. The Township of Hamilton is situated within the traditional territory of the Mississauga, Anishinaabe, and Chippewa nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations. Our work on these lands respectfully acknowledges the resilience and their long-lasting contributions to the area now known as the Township of Hamilton. Next item, motion to confirm the agenda. Prepared motion reads that the agenda for the council meeting held on February 17th, 2026 be approved. I have a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by John, seconded by Bruce. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Next item of business is there any declarations of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof today? Seeing none, that will be recorded. Our next item on the agenda is our public question period. And of course, it is restricted to agenda items only. And I see we have some new faces for me in the audience. So is there anyone either online or in the audience that would like to make a presentation on today's agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on. We'll move on to 10 on our agenda, which is the adoption of previous council and committee of the whole minutes. Items 10.1, dealing with the council minutes of January 20th. And the prepared motion reads that the minutes of the January 20th, 2026 council meeting be adopted. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Mark, seconded by Larry. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. 10.2, Committee of the Whole. Last week, February 10th, 2026. Prepared motion reads that the minutes of the February 10th, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting be approved. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Larry, seconded by John. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Business arising from the previous minutes. Item 17.3 on the January 20th, 2026 council meeting, the Northumberland County Correspondence, read Bill 9. Resolution Bill 9, Municipal Accountability. Anyone wishing to discuss that? Okay, thank you. 12.1 under committee reports. And that is motion to receive committee minutes, agenda items 12.2 to 12.5 to be considered collectively. And if anyone wishes to pull any of these items, we will do so after we have it moved and seconded and the motion approved. Prepared motion reads that the agenda items of 12.2 to 12.5 of the February 17th, 2026 council meeting agenda be received for information. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Mark. Seconded by Larry. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Does anyone wish to pull anything from 12.2 to 12.5 for discussion? Seeing none, I'll just hesitate until I get my papers up to speed here. Public Works and Infrastructure under 13. 13.1, regarding the 2026-03, being the 2025 annual and 2025 summer reports for the Buttersfield Subdivision Standalone Distribution System. Now, of course, is regarding the water system within Butters subdivision. Prepared motion is that council receives report WTR 2026-03 regarding the 2025 annual and the 2025 summary reports for Buttersfield Subdivision Standalone Distribution System for information. This is water. We historically go to a recorded vote. So I'll ask at this point in time, mover and a seconder, and then at that point in time, I'll turn it over to Daphne for a recorded vote. So could I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by John, seconded by Bruce. All those in favor? Carried. Daphne, could I get you to do the recorded vote on this, please?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. As you know, a recorded vote has been requested. As I call your name, kindly say yay or nay. Councillor Butter? Yay. Councillor Davidson? Yay. Councillor Levshin?
Yay.
Deputy Mayor Williamson?
Yay.
And Mayor Jim?
Yay.
Carried unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. And 13.2 is the WTR 2026-02, being the 2025 annual and summary report for Camborne and Creighton Heights drinking water systems. Prepared motion reads that council receives report WTR 2026-02, 2025 annual and summary report for the Camborne and Creighton Heights drinking water systems for information. Again, mover and a seconder, please. John, Larry, again, I'll ask all those in favor. And thank you. And Daphne, recorded vote if you would.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Butter? Yay. Councillor Davidson? Yay. Councillor Levshin?
Yay.
Deputy Mayor Williamson?
Yay.
And Mayor Jim?
Yay.
It's carried unanimously. Thank you.
Absolutely. Did I miss that part? My apologies if I did.
First, we missed that part too, 13.1. Just the water manager, the water meter replacement, that's around 17,310. How many meters are we replacing this year? I read up on it.
So proposed for this year, we're looking at replacing around 40 meters.
Just a follow-up to that, so when it gets completed, if it ever does get completed, will the whole system have to start restarting again for replacing meters because they'll be old and like a dinosaur?
At the rate we're proposing to replace them, as long as nothing changes, we're looking to be completely switched over to radio read meters over the next 7 to 8 years. At that time, meters typically last for 25 years, so they'll all systematically start.
Any further questions? And we got a recorded vote completed, I believe, on that. So we'll move on to 13.3. And it's the annual Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Park Compliance Inspection Reports for the Camborne and Creighton Heights drinking water systems. Prepared motion dealing with the two systems reads that council receives report WTR 2026-04, being the 2025 annual Ministry of Environmental Conservation and Parks compliance inspection reports for Camborne and Creighton Heights drinking water systems for information. Again, moving to seconder. I guess this is the most appropriate time to ask for questions on this. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll go with all in favor.
No, mover and a seconder, please.
Thought I had a mover in a second.
Just didn't say it.
Moved? Seconder? I was so excited about getting to the questions part for you, John. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. There's no questions. All those in favor? And recorded vote again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Kindly say yea or nay. Councillor Butter? Yay. Councillor Davison? Councillor Lovshin?
Yay.
Deputy Mayor Williamson? Yay. And Mayor Jib?
Yay.
Thank you. Carried unanimously.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, 13.4. And it's dealing with our Public Works garage expansion. And the prepared motion reads, it is recommended the council of the Corporation Township of Hamilton enacts as follows. The council receives report PWI 2026-02 regarding the Public Works garage expansion, additional works for information, and that council approves the selection of Lang Construction to complete the additional works for $79,979 plus the HST, and that a contract with Lang Construction be signed and executed by the CAO and manager of road operations for completion of the additional works. Okay, I'll get a mover and a second, and we'll slow right down for questions on this. Can I have a mover and a second? Moved by Bruce, seconded by Larry. Okay, thank you. Questions from anyone? John, please.
Mayor Chip, I'll go, construction, additional work. What's the additional work that you're looking at to be accomplished?
So through you, Mayor Jeb, the additional work is in the report. I'm just trying to pull it up here. So it will include insulation, interior finishes, as well as, I think I mentioned insulation, interior finishes, and heat. So it will provide 2 ceiling-mounted heating units at 150,000 BTU each. So that work will have this entire shop heated and completely finished with interior or steel interior finishes on the side and ceiling.
Thank you.
Any follow, Bruce?
So just a comment. My understanding is Lang Construction is already on site. They did the first prep or the building construction. At that point in time, their bid to do the project was the best that we had and very reasonable. They're a local company. I think that it just stands in line that we should to pass a motion to let them finish the job.
Thank you, Bruce. Any further questions, comments? Mark?
I just want one final question, Lucas. I think I know the answer. I'm pretty sure I do. This completes it, right? It's done? Nothing left?
Yes, through you, Mayor Jib, yes, Mark, or Councillor Lovshin. Yes, this is a complete finished building, lights, interior, exterior, perimeter lighting. Everything will be completed under budget.
I'd like to answer that, if I might. And once I say what I'm thinking, you'll all start to laugh. I believe this building should be set up with a generator transfer switch. In the event that anything were to happen to our existing buildings, that this building could be powered by a generator. And that's not within the scope of work at this point in time. But if I let this opportunity to go by, you would think I was asleep, and I'm not. So I will share that with you, the people in the audience, and as well the people who are online viewing.
Mayor Jib, I'll just add to that, the electrician is going to be on site tomorrow doing some preliminary layout, and I have asked for him to meet with myself to look at our current generator, our current panels, and see if there is ways to tie this into our existing facilities as well as our existing generator. So I'm trying to get ahead of it.
Thank you. Any further questions? Okay. We have it moved, seconded. We need a vote. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moving on to 13.5 on our agenda regarding a tender. It's a tender that's been recently opened. And the prepared motion reads, the council receives report Public Works and Infrastructure 2026-03 regarding tender 2026-01, paving and drainage improvements on various roads within Hamilton Township for information, and that council approves additional $75,623 for the hot mix paving project to be funded from the roads reserve, and that council authorizes the mayor and treasurer to award the tender number 2026-01, paving and drainage improvements on various roads within Hamilton Township with a value of $871,779.53 plus the HST to Bain Construction Limited, and that a bylaw be approved to authorize the mayor and treasurer to sign and execute the contract with Bain Construction Limited. A mover and a second to get this on the floor, please. Moved by Bruce, seconded by John. Thank you. Questions on this? John? No? Comment, please.
Get this mic to work. Thank you. Just want to make a comment that I think that all these roads are important, but I think Cavan Road is, in my mind, it's a good start, and hopefully in the near future, we can get that job completed. So it's a good start. Thank you.
Lucas, just to provide you the opportunity, did you want to respond, or should we move on to the next question?
We can move on. I think I understand where the comment's coming from about a phased-in approach for Cavan Road, so staff are aware of it, and we'll try to get it completed as soon as possible.
Thank you, Lucas. Larry, I believe you had a question?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I think I answered myself. Just that this is different than the roads facility reserve, isn't it?
Send that to our treasurer. Nazrat, if you would, please.
Oh. Okay, great. So we still have that. Okay, great. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments from anyone? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you. 15.1, council remuneration. Prepared motion reads that the report T 2026-03, being the 2025 council remuneration, be received by council. Do we have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Mark, seconded by John. Any questions or comments? All those in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you. We're moving on to 15.2 on our agenda, which is the draft operating and capital budget for water operations. And we do have our treasurer here. And I'll just simply say, Nazrat, when you're settled, please feel free to continue. Please go ahead, Nazrat.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Staff is requesting that Council approve the 2026 draft operating and capital budget for water operation. As you all know, in 2025, Township undertook the water rate study that was presented by Watson and Associate, and at that time, Council approved the annual water rate increase of 5% for 2026. The 2026 draft budget for water operations, which we are going to be presenting today, it incorporates that 5% water rate increase, and it shows how the funding is going to be allocated for 2026 with, of course, council's approval. So I want to be very clear today. The adoption of the proposed 2026 budget will not result in any further changes to the water rate beyond the 5% that has already been approved by council. With your permission, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to take everyone to Appendix A of the staff report, which is the budget package for water operation. We will start from page 3. At this time, I'm actually going to be requesting our water operation manager, Scott White, to introduce the department and talk about 2025 accomplishment and 26 priorities.
Thank you, Nusrat. As council is aware, we have two treatment facilities, the Camborne and Creighton Heights drinking water systems. We supply approximately 575 customers for the new systems. Staff take care of, obviously, the day-to-day operations of the plants, as well as some distribution maintenance, locates, and hydrant maintenance. Some of the accomplishments for 2025, the major accomplishments were the Walkerton Clean Water Center did a pilot project at the Creighton plant. It was for the ammonia removal. The project was very, very successful, and we will be looking at sort of trying to implement some of those pilots in the future. We continued on with the annual water meter replacement program. There was approximately 40 meters replaced in 2025. The program logic controller control panels at the Creighton Heights system that was initiated prior to this year. It was initiated in 24-25. It's ongoing, and we expect to complete that in the next, actually this month, March coming up. A leak detection program was also completed for the Creighton Heights distribution system, just as a preventative maintenance. There was a couple of leaks and hydrants that were found and replaced or repaired. And the water supply master plan was completed. It's just recently had its 30-day review period with the public, and a report will be coming forth with the council. And as Nusrat already spoke to, the water rate study was completed.
If I can request everyone to move to page 6, please. I'll start with table 2 on page 6. Under base, personnel is increasing by 6%. That's COLA, step rate increase, and benefit rate increase. Contribution to reserve is actually decreasing by approximately $71,000, and I'll go through that in detail when I go through the pressure sheet. Other expenditure is increasing by approximately $16,000 for various reasons, and when I go through the pressure sheet, I'll give you the breakdown of that. Other revenue is increasing by approximately $73,000, and that is mainly because of rate increase of 5%. Under new, you will see an increase of $98,000, and that's related to water operations staffing cost increase, and we will go through that in detail when we go through the pressure sheet. I do want to remind everyone the business enhancement sheet for this particular ask is attached to the appendix. Under external pressure, there is an increase of $5,800, and that is related to insurance. Is there any question on this page? If not, I'll move to the pressure sheet where I'll give you more detail.
I see some notes being made, so we'll maybe get to those in a minute. Please continue, Nusrat.
If I can take everyone to page 7, please. Under personal, as I've said, is increasing by 6%, and that is COLA, step rate increase, and benefit rate increase. Transfer to water reserve and transfer to water rate study reserve is decreasing as per the water rate study. Transfer to water capital reserve is going to be around $37,000 for 2026. Transfer to Buttersfield Capital Reserve, it's going to be an increase of $1,900. Under expenditure, some of the big items are contracted out expense is increasing by $9,000. That's additional plant maintenance item that needs to be addressed. Minor capital is increasing by $3,500, and that's aligned with projected actual. Sampling for both of the plants is increasing by $1,000 each. That's additional costs related to sample transfer to lab. Any question on this page?
Nazrat, forgive me, but you made reference to, I believe, $9,000. Never mind, I found it. I must have looked away at the time you were speaking. Sorry.
Is there any question on this page? If not, I'll move to the next.
Nazrat?
If I can request everyone to go to page 8, please. So the revenue is increasing by approximately 8%, and that is aligned with actual as well as the 5% rate increase. Water operation staffing cost is increasing by additional $98,000. As I've said, the business enhancement sheet or the business case is attached to the package. I'm actually going to be requesting Scott White to speak a little bit on detail on this.
Thanks, Nasrat. So this speaks to directly looking at moving and based on some previous council directives that we're looking at increasing the full-time complement of operators by 1, as well as some increased into wages. We do have potentially some retirements occurring in 2026, and we want to be in a place that we can replace those qualified staff with qualified operators. And again, we're looking at moving away from a combined water division and roads division to somewhat setting the water division a little bit more on its own. There will still be shared services between them, but that's where the 98,000 increase comes from.
In terms of insurance, it's increasing by $5,800. That is aligned with actual and rate increase. Any question on page 8?
Nazrat, please.
That's the operating budget presentation. Now I'd like to take everyone to page 13, please. That's the water capital budget. We are requesting we're requesting $250,000 for 2026 water capital. There are 4 projects, and I'm actually going to be requesting Scott White to go over each of the projects with us.
So the first item on there is the Creighton Heights system. We're looking at doing a hydrogeological study and a test well. This is directly related to the water supply master plan that's been completed that, again, I said has just finished the 30-day review period and will be coming forward to council and the public. This would be the next steps to securing added capacity for that system. Council is aware there's very limited capacity with that system, but a high demand for development in the settlement area. Camborne Well, 2A, rehabilitations on that well. That well has sustained some capacity limitations over the last couple of years, and we're going to bring in a firm to rehabilitate that well. This is something that's typically done from time to time. We do have a policy, it's usually done every 10 years. It was done in 2021, and it did come back to full capacity at that time, but we've currently seen some limitations, so we're going to correct that. The next item was just some lab instrument upgrades at the facilities, existing lab equipment. It's just no longer supported by the manufacturer. It's actually quite old, so we're going to replace those. And again, continuing on with the annual water meter program with $40,000 in there for the replacement of approximately 40 meters.
Thanks, Scott. Is there any question on water capital budget?
Yes. In respect to the Hydro-G study, referencing the test well, could you just give a little detail? Does that mean we're going to be putting in another test well and doing a Hydro-G on it? What specifically does that mean when we have it listed out that way?
So the Hydro-G study itself will look at the entire area of sort of Baltimore, that settlement area. We potentially could find water anywhere. I mean, we would look at the existing site with hopes of, you know, finding an added source there. We already have the treatment facility there. But that being said, we could find alternative sources elsewhere. Regardless of wherever that water source is found or the best potential of finding that well source, then we would be looking at putting in a wells in that location, and that very well could be a test well to start or a production well, depending on what the Hydro-G study finds.
Thank you. Any follow-up questions from anyone? Any comments? Seeing none, I'll go back to you, Nazrat.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that is the presentation for water budget. We are requesting that council approve the 2026 water operations budget.
And we do have a prepared motion to that effect. And this is 15.2 on our agenda. And it's recommended that council approves report T 2026-04, being the 2026 draft operating and capital budgets for water operations. Again, we'll do a recorded vote on this, but mover and the seconder. First, moved by Larry, seconded by Mark. Any questions or comments? Larry?
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor. Just one question I have is, when you look at the summary reports on the ministry documents and some of the reports that we have, we always talk about approximate users. And I'm concerned about that, is that it changes from one document to another. You know, in other words, Camborne, Creighton Heights, and Buttersfield, it's always, we have approximately. I think if we're billing people, we should know exactly how many people we have using these facilities. And it's a complaint I always have about, you know, approximating a population and approximately how many houses we have in an area. But it seems to me if we're billing people, we should know more precisely the actual number of users we have and have it consistent through all the documents. It's just a little bugaboo that I've got, but I'd just like to see more consistency in the number of users we have throughout these reports. That's all I have. Thank you.
Take that as a comment unless you want to take it as a question, Scott.
We do know the exact number of customers. I think it's just a reference that we have in some of the reports, but we can certainly take that. We'll take that comment in and for reflection. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? John?
I probably know the answer to this, but just for the general public that's probably listening in or here, the amount of studies that has to be done during the year by the ministry or by the Clean Water Act, what percentage of the budget is that?
So from the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks perspective, they do an annual inspection on each water facility in Ontario. There's no charge for that other than staff time that it takes to pull all the documents together, and it's quite extensive, or staff time while dealing with those inspectors on site. The only other cost we have is for internal and external drinking water quality management standard audits, and I'm going to hazard to guess that we're probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 to 5,000 for those two studies, and they're completed annually as well.
Good, thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Again, I'll verbally go to all those in favor of the motion. All those in favor of the motion, then we'll go to recorded. Yes? Daphne, turn it over to you for a recorded vote, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Better. Councillor Davison. Councillor Lovshin. Deputy Mayor Williamson. And Mayor Jib.
Yay.
Carried unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to 17, communications and announcements. 17.1 reads that the agenda items from 17.2 of the February 17th, 2026 council meeting agenda be received. Have a mover and a second to that, please. Moved by Larry, seconded by Mark. Okay, and that is regarding the EOWC Champions Regional Priorities at Roma 2026. I will ask any questions or comments on this. All those in favor of the motion? Thank you. Bylaws. Under 18.1, Bylaw 2026-07, execute agreement with Bain Construction for paving and drainage improvements. Prepared motion reads that Bylaw 2026-07, being a bylaw to authorize execution of a contract with Bain Construction Limited for paving and drainage improvements, be given a first, second, and third reading and finally passed the 17th day of February 2026. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Larry, seconded by Bruce. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. We have no notice of motions under 19th. We have no media questions under 20. So we're about to move into closed session, and we'll need a moment to transition to that. But we will move to go to closed, and we'll take a couple-minute break. And the motion reads, move to closed session to discuss matters permitted under section 239(2). B, personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. And that is regarding a road allowance disposition, use of a municipally owned facility, appointment to advisory committee. And the motion reads that the council meeting held on February 17th, 2026, move into closed session at 1:37 p.m. under the Municipal Act, sections 239(2)B and C. Do I have a mover, please? Moved by John, seconded by Bruce. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. And we'll be back shortly after we transition to closed. Okay, we're back in open council. And the report out of closed session is that staff are to proceed with the direction given in closed session. Okay, we're about to close out our meeting. We have nothing under 23, so we go to our confirmatory bylaw, which reads, under 24.1, bylaw 2026-06, that bylaw 2026-06, being a bylaw to adopt the proceedings of council meeting held on the 17th day of February 2026, and to authorize its execution, be given first, second, and third reading, and finally passed the 17th day of February 2026. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Bruce, seconded by Mark. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Item 25.1 on our adjournment. 25.1 on our agenda for is adjournment by the council meeting held on February 17th, 2026, be adjourned at exactly 3 p.m. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Mark, seconded by Bruce. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.